The Hilton Top Solicitors Female Virtual Internship and Mentorship Program is an initiative that was set up by Mrs. Deborah Oni. She is the pioneer of the Hilton Top Solicitors Female Virtual Internship and Mentorship Program. And she started this initiative because of her intense desire for innovation. And she wants to adopt a new type of thinking and use cutting-edge technology to help clients solve problems. And so she started this initiative to teach others, to teach females especially, and to mentor females on cutting-edge technology, especially in the field of law. I hope, can we all still hear? So I'm hearing Nancy saying that, I'm seeing Nancy saying that she can't hear anything. Can you all hear? Just put it in the chat box if you can hear me. All right. So Nancy, if you can't hear, perhaps you haven't joined. That's why you can't hear. So let me start by saying that this is a very great privilege for all of you. And I'm very excited for you that you were able to join this internship and mentorship program, because this is a very great experience for you. I was an intern at the previous edition of the virtual internship and mentorship program, the 7th edition, and I gained so much. In fact, I have so many testimonies to share from that internship program. Let me just even give you a rundown on how the program is going to be, speaking from the experience of a past intern. So this program is going to run for about 2 to 3 weeks. And you'll be told when the time for the next sessions are coming. There will be specific time for different sections. There are some days when you might have 2 sessions in a day. And for each session, you have a speaker come and explain a particular topic. It's basically a lecture series. And so that's why you need your pen and paper. I need to pay attention. I'm sure you guys are still hearing me. You need to pay attention to what the speakers will be saying. And you have to take notes too, because if you don't take notes, you forget. And each speaker will come to talk about different things. The theme of the program is sustainable innovation in the digital economy, addressing legal and regulatory hurdles. That's what the program is. And so each of the speakers will be addressing different topics on this theme. So get your pen and paper, write down as much information as you can understand. My advice to you as a past intern is that normally on the group chat, I'm sure you guys have a group chat. On the group chat, the topic of the next session will be available for you to see on the group chat. So when you see the topic, my advice to you is that you actually research a little bit on the topic, because some of the topics will be on things you've never heard or seen before. Now, this is a gathering of over 500 females. And I know some of you are students in the university. Some of you are lawyers. Some of you are recent law graduates. Some of you are not even in the legal profession, but you have interest in technology. So this program is going to cover a lot of things, but we're going to be mostly centered on the legal field. So if you are a lawyer, you will benefit a lot from it, especially if you're a lawyer interested in technology law. This will be a very good experience for you. So the teachers are going to be coming to take different topics, and it's good that you should do your research beforehand, because like I said, some of the topics are things that you have never heard of before. So do your research. My I think the fastest way you can do your research is to just go on ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to explain, just explain a few words, the topic, and you'll be able to get at least an idea of what the speaker will be coming to say. And of course, some of the things that the speakers will be saying will be things that you have probably also heard of before. So during the course of the lecture, you are advised to take notes, and you might have questions before or during the lecture. You'll be given the opportunity to ask questions after. So that's how it's going to be. I know there will also be provision for you to make group presentations. I'm sure you got that in your email. I had the opportunity to present on behalf of my group the last time, and it was very good. The group presentation will be based on a paper you will be asked to write. And you'll be asked, so in the course of the lecture, some of you may not have an idea on what paper you want to write. So in the course of the lecture, you have an idea, okay, I'm interested in this area. The way the speaker spoke about it, I understand it a bit. Let me do more research on it. And that's how it's, and that's for your own personal paper. But for the group presentation, you guys will be given a topic to research on, and all of you work together as a group to write a paper and then make presentation on that paper. And on the day of your presentation, you have to make PowerPoint slides, and someone will be chosen from your group to present. I'm sure when the time comes, you will all be put into different groups. So it will be easy for you all to know what group you fall under. And I just want you guys to take it very seriously, especially when it comes to the group presentation. Do not leave all the work for one or two people. Please contribute. Please contribute. And let me just, I know I'm taking some time, but let me just give a brief testimony, my own personal testimony about this program. So I was in the 7th edition, like I said, this previous edition, and we were asked to write a group paper and our own personal and individual paper. We're given deadlines to submit them. And of course, myself and our group leader and other members of the group all worked together to write the group paper, and it was good. I was fine with it. The personal paper, thanks to the okay. Can you still hear me? Okay. All right. Okay. I think I was cut off for a moment there, but everything I've been saying so far, you guys have been hearing though. Have you? Yes. Okay. All right. So can someone tell me where I left off so I can be sure you guys actually heard me to a certain point? Can someone volunteer in the chat and just, okay, good. Okay, good. Oh, that's good. That means I wasn't completely cut off from the first. Okay. So my personal paper, I put it up on SSRN after I was done. And would you believe that after I think it was a few months after I wrote that personal paper, I was contacted by an international journal in Singapore, the International Journal for Technology. And my paper was published by that journal, by that international journal in Singapore for free. I didn't have to pay any money. I didn't have to pay anything. And I got my paper published within just a few weeks of putting it up on SSRN. So these are some of the things that you can get from this internship. You can gain a lot, but you have to be serious. Please show up every day as much as possible. Show up every day. So let me introduce our speaker for today. Mrs. Deborah Oni is our speaker for today, and she's the pioneer of the Hilton Top virtual female internship. Deborah Enyone Oni is a legal practitioner with over a decade post-call experience. She's the founding/managing partner of Hilton Top Solicitors, a tech-savvy law firm committed to delivering legal services through innovation and technology. She is the convener of the Hilton Top Solicitors Female Virtual Internship/Mentorship Program for law undergraduates and graduates. She is the founder of Hilton Top Emerging Tech Academy. Mrs. Deborah is an emerging tech lawyer, blockchain researcher, educator, and consultant. A smart contract research fellow, a mother of 3 girls, and a tech empowerment advocate. She has a taste for innovation, and at the core of her strength is her ability to adopt a new type of thinking and use cutting-edge legal technologies to help clients solve complex issues in a technologically emerged world. She's the head of the blockchain and other emerging technologies unit of the firm. Her interest in the emerging technology space has led her into acquiring various reputable certifications in same. She's highly focused, resolute, confident, dedicated, and a committed personality. She holds a Bachelor of Laws from the University of Jos, Plateau State, and had a BL from the Nigerian Law School, Abuja, and was subsequently called to the Nigerian Bar in 2010. She has a master's degree in law from the University of Lagos, Akoka, Lagos. She regularly advises a broad range of clients, including local and international companies, on various sector-specific legal issues, such as joint ventures, regulatory compliance, general corporate advisory on the Nigerian law and policy are affecting the incorporation and operation of businesses to help clients maximize opportunities and profits in their businesses and minimize risks. She sits on the board of reputable companies as a legal secretary and advisor. She's a program coordinator/administrator of Cryptography Development Initiative of Nigeria. She's an ambassador of the Global Policy House. She's a public speaker, and she's often called upon to speak at local and international seminars, webinars, and conferences. She's a digital content writer and has authored several articles majorly covering blockchain and law and artificial intelligence. She's passionate about sustainable legal practice through innovation and technology, women and girls, and their inclusion and participation in the Web3 space. She partners with organizations that foster the development and growth of women and girls in the digital economy to achieve a greater result. She is a mentor to young women and female law students across various universities in Nigeria, law graduates and lawyers. And her passion for women and girls has led her to pioneer women-focused programs such as Hilton Top Solicitors Female Virtual Internship/Mentorship Program, which has educated about 3,000 women since inception in 2020 on blockchain and cryptocurrency, law, tech, and women empowerment, inclusion, and participation. She seeks to build women and girls with tech skills so as to be digitally aware and thus empowered to participate in digital economy and other aspects as well. She uses her legal expertise to support the development of women. A round of applause, everybody, for Mrs. Deborah Oni, as she takes over as our speaker for today. You're welcome, Ma.
Yeah, Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you for that great introduction. And thank you, ladies, amazing ladies, phenomenal ladies. Thank you, great coordinator and moderators for today, Deborah Enyone Oni and Grace Akihiro, right? Thank you so much for that introduction. And then for the testimony, it was so nice hearing that testimony because it kind of sets the pace for what we're to do today, right? Yes, thank you, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for being here today. And our role here today is to welcome you on board the 8th edition of the Hilton Top Solicitors Female Virtual Internship and Mentorship Program. Thank you so much. We are glad to have you. I'm so excited. Really, I am so excited. Take it from me that this is coming from the bottom of my heart. The excitement knows no bound. Why? Like I tell previous editions and yes, the previous editions and the other phenomenal ladies on the platform during the various editions that we've had these sessions, I keep telling them that this program, this platform is like my last born. It's like my baby. You know how you will take care of something that is so dear to you. That's how this program, this platform is dear to me. I have 3 girls, as has been said in my introduction. And my last born is about 7, will be 8 next month. But this is like the baby following that last born, right? So this program commenced in 2020. That was when I pioneered it by the power of God and by the divine direction of God, purposely to help build the next generation female legal talent into the digital economy, into the emerging tech world by the understanding of digital tools, by the understanding of the importance of digitization and how connected we are more than ever in this world now. Now, why are we here today? We are here and I'm here to tell you that this is an internship and a mentorship program like no other. You do all have your various expectations before coming to this platform, no doubt about it. Whether we're able to meet such expectations is one thing, and whether we actually meet and exceed it is another thing. But in most cases, as humans, we are unable to satisfy our full expectations because as humans, our needs are insatiable. We cannot get it fully, satisfied. But one thing I can assure you is that if you come to this platform with an open-mindedness, you are sure to leave this platform with as small as one thing that will change the course of your destiny. As small as a little information or a little advice, or by just observing myself and other industry experts, and even the volunteer teams that have spoken to you right now, by just observing, you could just get directed on where you are going. So once again, I want to say, phenomenal ladies, I welcome you all. I know that among us, the large population, which is where we are majorly focused, we have in our midst law undergraduates. Of course, this is a female-focused program, so there are no male here, right? So we have undergraduates, we have graduates, and a couple of lawyers, right? So now, why are we here? We are here to spur ourselves up today, being the first day to onboard you. Grace has done an excellent job telling you what the program is all about. I mean, what else would I have been able to tell you than setting the ground running with what Grace had just said in terms of giving her testimony? That testimony was so great for me. Because in most cases, I recall that in each of the editions, and the Grace's edition, which was the 7th edition, was not exclusive. In each of those editions, there are a lot of people that come into this platform, apply and come in, but with a mindset that probably they could just approach it anyhow. You know, in this life, any height that you have to attain, you have to be very, very intentional about it. And if you're not intentional, while others are testifying, you will probably not be part of it, but that won't be your case, because for you to be available today, I know that you are here to be able to harness the opportunities, the information, or the right word that will spur you into action in light of the digital economy, in light of the digital age that we are, for you to be directed. I do know that one person cannot be the owner of all the knowledge in the world. So there are some things that you know that other people among us here do not know, and there are some that others know and you don't know. But if you're open-minded, you'll be able to harness the benefits of what your neighbor, your team member, your group member actually has to offer. But first, you need to be open-minded. You need to not see yourself as above all. It doesn't matter what level that you are. And so, as taking care of some of the challenges and barriers that women face ordinarily, we have to even start from ourselves to break some of the things that serve as barriers to us collaborating and relating with each other. Most times, we as women, we complain about the various challenges that we face, but most times we are the challenge, we pose those challenges ourselves. But if we're able to bring down some of those challenges, forget the issue of age, forget the issue of your years of practice. Oh, I'm a lawyer of about 100 years post-call, and she's just a law student and all that. No, what we know is that we have human beings, phenomenal women, created by God on this platform. If you come with that humility and that open-mindedness, then you will be able to learn. And that's why this platform will not segregate among, okay, the lawyers should be by one side and the aspiring lawyers should be on the other side. In the long run, we'll all be lawyers. In the long run, we'll move from age 1 to age 2. We'll move from new wig to old wig and whatever wig you're going to be, right? So what we know is that technology has come to even break this barrier. So we intend to align ourselves and not allow the challenges and the barriers that we set by ourselves to stop us from harnessing the opportunities that technology offers. Because in the long run, if you're able to collaborate and partner with a team member who is younger and who you are open-minded to collaborate with, irrespective of age or years of practice, you will be able to help change the legal landscape and revolutionize it, which is part of the intention of this platform. So why are we here today? To tell you what the program is about. And of course, some of the testimonies, one has been shared by Grace, and I'm sure you will have your various testimonies to share in the long run. Now, this program came about in 2020. It was a divine ordination, and it was orchestrated by God, handed to me to be able to help build the next generation female lawyers in light of the digital age. Now, to be able to take us through this while running through some of the challenges that you as a woman face, which most times we don't take into cognizance some of these things, because we feel, for most of us that are in the universities now, we feel that probably, you know that life is beyond the university, but once you are in the university, you get caught up with everything that happens there, and you do not understand the need for you to get the knowledge on how to connect reality, on how to connect the dot that will help you to thrive outside of the university, on how to align yourself. So now this platform, having realized some of these challenges and from the pains and lessons from my own personal journey, I'm not here to give you statistics. You all have your devices. If I give you any statistics now, you can even go online and be like, okay, let me check. What statistic do I need? It's closer to you than I would even pass the message, right? But I'm here to relate from my own lessons that I've been able to harness the pain to be able to put up a platform that will help to give what I felt I didn't have at the time that I started off in the space. So much so, with the knowledge of the importance of technology and how leveraging technology can help us to be able to cross some of these hurdles, if not all. Now, for every good thing that we know do have the challenges, but it first starts with you understanding what are the likely potentials, what are the likely benefits of the technology we are talking about. How does it relate to me as a law student, as a law graduate, as a lawyer, and how can I harness these opportunities? But in most cases, we are all on various digital platforms. Some of you are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But I would advise you, of course, you know that we did ask, if you're not on LinkedIn, you should be on LinkedIn. Now, most of you are probably on LinkedIn already. and you see a lot of information. You've heard about data privacy, cybersecurity, everything is just popping out. I mean, we are in an era of information overload. It is very, very important for you to know how that information relates to you. If not, if you just bombard yourself with too much of this information without actually knowing how to connect the dots, you will be more confused than ever. And you will be confused, and that confusion will lead to no difference between you than someone who has no information. So this platform is to help us to be able to channel the information towards the part that actually aligns with us. And how do we do that? Before we come to that, how we do that, of course, part of it has been said by Grace in the introduction that she was giving earlier. We do this by the use of industry experts coming to deliver lectures, series, within 1 hour, 30 minutes, because we're taking into cognizance your time and the fact that you will be committed to some other things. In light of digitization, a lot of responsibility, people try to, juggle several things at the same time. And some of you that probably are not on break yet, you'll also be, juggling with your academics, right? And so because of that, we also need to put into cognizance of the fact that it doesn't have to go too long, and especially so as not to exceed the attention lifespan. And then we go for so long, and most of you will probably not, catch up again, and you feel the time is going on and you can really not get the understanding of what we're saying. So as a result, we stay within that time. Why? Because the thing is, we can't give you everything. The purpose is to put you right and just highlight what you need and spur you into action. So do further research. You've heard from Grace. Now, one of the things we do, apart from the fact that we use industry experts, myself and other industry experts from the space of law, this is not a platform like any other. It's a platform that is different. It's an internship and mentorship program with a difference that is focused towards female alone, to help you in the digital economy and help you with the information that you need to be able to do further research and put yourself out in the digital economy so that you can be a participant and not just a representative. And then to also help you to connect with industry experts who will serve as mentors. But the thing is, we can tell you or put you on this platform for like a year, but if the iPhone is not getting paid, you will definitely not be able to invest in the opportunities that we are talking about. So by the time you see the famous industry experts speak on this platform, you'll be able to connect with people and you already know their way. And like I feel like saying in Nigeria, you tell you who know you, right? So my voice is echoing. I'm sorry about that. Is it better now? It's not clear enough. Okay. It isn't. Oh, it is not. No. Wow. Is it better? It's not clear. Okay. Is it better? Hello, you hear me now? It's still echoing. It's not coming out. It's not. Is it better? All right. Is it better? Maybe it's in my phone. Okay, so were you hearing me at one point? in the loop. Okay. Is it better now?
Yes, ma, it's better.
Wow. Okay. Just a minute, please. All right, thank you, ladies. Okay, we're perfect now. All right, thank you. So I did mention already that for everything that we that is good, you probably have some challenging aspects. We're talking about technology, leveraging it and all that. Of course, it does have some of its own challenges, which is what we are experiencing now. All right, so I hope you did hear me what I have spoken so far, but if not, as I move further, I'll try to just recap some of the things in it so we can stay within the time. All right, so yes, I heard you. All right, you did. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Buluatife, Justina. Thank you, every one of you. All right, so quickly into why the program came about. Now, it's not a program that let's see what we can do to just hype up this whole thing that is going around technology and all that. No, it was a program that was born out of passion from my own personal experience. Now we'll go into, I'll run through a story. Some years back then in 2010, after being called into the after being called to the bar, of course, like the expectation of most of you that are undergraduate now, my intention was, right after this call to bar, the next thing will be for me to just get an opportunity into one of the tier 1 law firm and start working. And then, of course, life is good. When you are ready, you just get married. After then, you, if you're not okay with that firm, you change to another one. Then when you decide to be like, open up your own law firm, you get into that. You know, I was thinking all this and having that kind of plan, of course, even bigger plans, which of course, most of you are already putting those plans in place. But the thing is that the shocker is that it's good to have these plans. But of course, while we plan as life has a way of disposing its own to us. And now it takes preparation and you being rightly aligned with the right information, with the right platform to help direct you and help prepare you of the likely challenges that you're going to face. That knowledge will help you to plan for. Yes, but we can never be too planned for a thing to be able to overcome some of the challenges that are meant to come. But it is better that you are forewarned, that you have the foreknowledge and you are able to know how to navigate your way around that space, which is the place of mentorship, right? So now at the time, during my own time, I didn't really have this kind of opportunity. And of course, the hype around technology was not as this, right? And so after being called, I just felt it was going to be automatic. And of course, life happened. After service, I got married. And then I felt, oh, once I get married, while I'm working, I will give birth to the children, the number of children I want. And then, of course, life keeps going and all that. And I actually got a referral to one of the tier 1 law firm in Lagos, got married in 2011, moved down to Lagos, and I felt, oh, this is the law firm I'm going. And I actually had a very good reference from one of the late justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria at the time. And so I felt, oh, life is good. And I got to Lagos, even with the reference that I had. It wasn't long that I came for the interview, then life happened. I didn't plan and I had no idea that that kind of life was going to happen. The person who referred me, the very prominent late justice of Nigeria, at that time he was still alive. It wasn't so long after my interview, then he died. And so the firm they didn't get back to me. Not that they didn't get back to me. And I recall at the point they told me, oh, you had a good result. And by virtue of the person referring you, we'll see, but we'll get back to you. Now, whether I did well or I did woefully, I didn't even get that feedback. And then, of course, before you know, I started giving birth. in subsequent years, and that started taking a toll on me. These were things I had no idea were going to weigh on my professional practice. I had no idea. So as much as you have your interest, your passion to be a lawyer as a woman, I am here today, and that's what this platform is for, to help you the first day. Of course, every other day, it's not like we'll just be talking about your role as a woman and how it will impact you, but that is part of what you should know. Because the knowledge that a man or a male need to really thrive, because of the peculiarity of women, the knowledge you need is still quite different. I have no such knowledge about the fact that I had to be well planned and prepared, and that the fact that I have married and I'm already going into the level of childbearing was going to weigh on my practice or on the way that my productivity will be perceived by the other parties, not even what I feel. So what I was getting at that point, when I was even putting up application to other law firms, what I was hearing was, Deborah, you know you are pregnant now. We cannot actually hire you. It will you might probably not be able to stay here the way the single ladies will be able to stay. I had no idea, and I was like, oh wow, really? So if I had known, maybe I would have thought. Of course, I am not regretting that I married at that time, because it's not like I was so young, right? So, but I had no idea to have been able to put things together, and of course there's no way you will put together. At the same time, the male colleagues that we had were not having that kind of problem. They were already fixed up somewhere in Lagos here, and while I was still hustling around, I was trekking around and moving around looking for opportunities to intern in a firm or to even serve. I was even ready to serve without money, which was what I did. At the point I was doing freelancing, I needed like somewhere to just be and learn. So the problem was not, oh, you were having issues because money was just your problem. No. So I started looking. I have a good result. I'm being told I have a good result. I'm so energetic. I have the strength. I have the ability. I'm moving around submitting CVs. Now, in order not to exaggerate, I would say my husband printed not less than 40 CVs that I took time, weeks, moving out as if I was going to the office to go and submit CVs. Now, those were shockers for me. I had no idea that in my life I would study law, finish, and I would come and be hustling for work. Yes, that was the language. I was practically hustling in the town of Lagos. And so I will move from firms to firms. Then I was on the mainland. So I will come to the big law firms on the island. By the time I'm stressed, because at that time, since I didn't get the opportunity that I was supposed to get, I of course, at the point I was pregnant, with the pregnancy, I will hustle around. The sun was really eating me up, very scorchy, and the rest of it. I'll finish that hustling, go back home as if I'm coming back from the office, after exhausting the several CVs that my husband was printing for me. At the point, I knew that I was going to open my firm and start something. But of course, you are starting from a very humble background. You have no money to open an office. So that's like, that's like a barrier already. So you are looking for, how do I start? So I started with the house. And I recall that when I met with Falano, he said, oh, that's a great thing. When I told him I have my office, he said, that's a great thing. That was where the rest of us started. So in my mind, I was like, oh, wow, this is great. I wish I had someone tell me this. I would have been so confident with it, more than I was as at then, because I would try to be like, oh, no, the office is in the house. And I put my mouth by the side, no confidence around it, because I had no idea that, oh, it was even something that, yes, it's possible. And some of the people that I was viewing as mentors up there were already like, they had gone through some of these processes. Do you know what that would have done? What that would have done by having that kind of knowledge, the confidence it would have instilled in me, and how I would have been able to like channel my whole strength and be like, feel confident that I even have a house to use as my office. But in the midst of it, I didn't sit to complain, because I do not like to complain. Once there's a challenge, you look for where to bring the solution, and starting with what you have from where you are. And that's what this platform is about. The platform didn't start because, oh, the money was now there in 2020 to start the platform. Even when the law firm had started as Deborah Enyone Oni, and later metamorphosed into Hilton Solicitors. So now it started from nothing. So now at the time, fast forward to the time, of course, all through this time, I wasn't sitting. So I was freelancing for seniors. At some point, they will owe me, or a particular senior will owe me, because I will go to his office. He will send me around. I was hopping from one court to the other within and outside of Lagos. I was so happy. But the thing is that I wasn't living a fulfilled life, and I wasn't really making the kind of impact that I wanted, because I recall that one of my visions was I wanted to help the downtrodden. But of course, at that time, I needed help myself. I knew of times I went to court in Badagry, that I got stranded, that a child had to give me money to add up to my transport. I was sent to go and represent a senior. And what he gave me was so little, knowing that I was even starting life myself, that it was not enough to take me from Badagry. Now, the files that he bombarded me with caught my handbag, with the handbag that I was managing with my level at the point. Now, these are the hurdles. These were things I had no idea would happen. I recall while I was pregnant of my first child, I met with a colleague whom we both served in the Ministry of Justice in Port Harcourt some years back. And she passed me and came back again and said, sorry, are you Debbie? Are you Debbie? I was like, yes, I'm Debbie, I'm Deborah. And she said, oh, really? What happened to you? In my mind, I was like, oh, life happened to me. We met at the land registry this particular year. I was still pregnant of my first child. Like, she was like, oh, what happened to Debbie? All the bling bling, all the, like, I love fashion, right? But at that time, me and fashion were like adverse to each other, right? Because you are so hungry, you're not even looking for money for fashion yet. Now, if I tell you, for people that knew I was a lawyer within that vicinity, they were still doubting, because like the life, I know that there are processes to everything, but it would be so good for you to have an idea that it's a normal process and that my case was not different. But I felt everything was just wrong with me. And I was like, oh, so what's the essence of this result that I have? So I had no idea. I had no female. There was no woman in my life at that time that I would say, this is a woman who is a lawyer and is giving me one word per year. Don't get me wrong. Now, I wasn't looking for a mentorship where I would sit for 2 weeks, 1 week, and somebody will be telling me the right thing to do. I was looking for. Now, was I not a member? You will ask, why didn't she join the NBA branch of where she was? Let me shock you. I did join. When I got to Lagos, the very week I got to Lagos, my husband went to check where is the nearest one to where we were living at the point, and it was NBA Ikeja branch. I tried all my best, but it was as if everything was against me. But like I said, I never complained. So I told seniors, I need a space, I need a place to intern, I need a place to just be available to learn and all that. But somehow things didn't just go through. Then I'll check through my phone. I had contacts. I knew justices. I knew this one. I knew that one, but nothing worked. So then it dawned on me that really you could have your own plan and life will just happen. And if you are not well, for me, because of my faith in God, I knew that everything was going to work out well for my good in the long run. But I can tell you for free that some of our colleagues who we both started at the Ikeja branch at that point didn't survive this whole challenge. At some point, they will see me, and one asked me some time ago, she said, Debbie, where are you getting this strength? But I thank God also for the kind of husband I married. Because even when I didn't have confidence in myself, he had more confidence than I did in myself. That was the truth. In fact, that was my major saving grace. And that brings me to what this platform is about. Now, why we do the lectures, why we arrange assignments for you, personal assignment, group presentations, and we tell you to present. We don't choose. You choose within yourselves. You come and present. Now, nobody is an expert than you in terms of, oh, she knows how to talk more than me. You know how to talk. You just need the push. Some of you have not been presented with that platform, but you know that, yes, there's something in you. You have that power. You have that voice already. You just need the power. You need that empowerment. You need somebody to just tell you that you can do it, to be able to participate. So even leveraging the technology takes guts. It takes that confidence for you to know that you can actually do it. So because of that belief in my husband, even when I was so shy, and I will hear people talk about needing a legal service at the time when I was still pregnant of my first child then, and I heard this person that was in the market, you would think that a young lawyer who is, of course, hungry and looking for a place to work is hearing people talking about needing a legal service. And I threw my eyes the other way around. I didn't even tell them I was a lawyer.
What do you think happened then? There was no confidence. So I am here to tell you that, yes, the school is trying, but I can tell you for free that that alone will not be enough to take you to where you need, especially as a woman. I know that for the male, they will be so extroverted that before they even finish talking, the man will tell you, oh, madam, even the one they've never handled in their lives, they will start telling them, then they get this opportunity. Because I have colleagues that were all close, that were male, that were all in Lagos. They were fixed in one firm or the other, and I was wondering what was happening to me. And now here I am. I didn't get a place in an office. Somebody is talking about needing a legal service. I threw my eyes the other way. I was so scared. Not because I did it. This was me that people would tell me, oh, Debbie, you are so sound, you are so this. It goes beyond just passing and bringing A and bringing B in your courses and all that. You need confidence. You need leadership skill. You need to know that even the little you know or that academics have told you, even if you have failed any of your courses before, it doesn't mean you are a failure. It means that there's a way to do it better. And you have learned how not to do it. So you've learned that that's not the way to do it, or that's not the way to read and pass that exam. But I can tell you for a fact that that's not the determinant of your success in reality. I had no idea about that. So at that point, so I was the one now doing myself. I was the one placing the barrier on myself. No confidence, but I had no idea about that until the reality dawned on me. There was no confidence. I recall telling some persons that I don't want to be in a place of leadership because all this leadership stuff, it could be very stressful. And, the next thing people will laugh at, you let them laugh. If they know how to do it better, I'm sorry to say this is without prejudice to those who are not Christians. I belong to the Living Faith Church. And my papa would tell us, he said, if you know how to do it, if you know it and you have not done it, then it means you don't know it. So the person that is doing it or that has done it and has failed is better than the person who knows it and is not doing it. So that takes me to this other point. The knowledge you will acquire here. I'm not interested in just downloading. In fact, everything you will hear from here, I'm sure if you just get your ChatGPT or any of the AI, you'll get those information. The only difference is the fact that I do know that the passion from my personal experience I've put into this platform, it must work for you. What I want is that the information you get, I'm not interested in you getting everything, but just avail yourself every day. Avail yourself. It could be one word. All I need you is to be open-minded. Get that one word that will direct you. If they know, if everyone, your colleagues that you are afraid of, if they know, let them do it. If they are even succeeding, if you feel that they are succeeding, I'm not talking of social media success that you feel everybody has gone and you are at the back. That's not what I'm saying. If truly they are succeeding and they have gone ahead, my dear, you start from where you are. And I recall one of the speakers on my platform one of the days, a very prominent HR person within the NNPC organization. She said one thing I will not forget. She said, when you wake up, it's your own morning. So if you feel they've gone ahead, you have woken up, that's your morning. That's your own. So this platform is to help you, push you to get to use that voice that you have already. And how does this align? The fact that you need to understand that technology is here to play. And being a law student, like the traditional law student, will not pave way for you. Being a law undergraduate, like the traditional law undergraduates, will not pave way for you. Then being a lawyer, for those of you who are lawyers, some of you are even my seniors, I really respect you so much. But being a traditional lawyer in this digital economy will not pave way for you. And with all the stress and the struggling and the rigmarolling, when I came into the space of technology, I found that, oh, this is really great. I mean, if I had really understood technology and started in any way, even as simple as leveraging the social media, things like the social platform of the LinkedIn. At the time, I was hustling around and spending the money we didn't have for transport. At that time, I was on the mainland, not now. The money it took me to come from the mainland to the island that we're setting every day, it had to be really budgeted for. That was money that was going. If I understood that there was a platform called LinkedIn and I understood the importance at that time, I'm sure I would have gone further than that. But of course, I do not regret any of my process. Because for every of those processes, they were a learning point. It's what brought me to where I am with this platform and with the passion to be able to push you to be able to execute. Some of you have great ideas, wonderful ideas, but you've been, covering it. You've been using blanket to cover it and the rest of it. But I'm telling you that job is not waiting for you. That's what I'm trying to get to. What's the essence of this whole story? I'm telling you that you need to be empowered, especially now that we're in the digital economy, an interconnected economy, whereby staying local at your cubicle, which is the office, is not what will give you what you need to thrive in this digital economy. Where technology has come to break down all the barriers that used to be accustomed to a traditional lawyer. Where technology has come to make entry available for everyone, irrespective of your level. Where you are able to express yourself without any form of limitation. Are the challenges not there? They are. But the thing is that once you are able to see the vision, you are able to also participate to see how you can be a solution provider. What's our role as lawyers? We don't run from problems. We look for where problems are to be able to solve the problem. So what's now the difference in the technology space? You have advantages. I would want to believe that we have advantages much more than any other industry, any other field. Because as a lawyer, we will relate with every other industries, even in this tech field. I've heard some mentees ask me sometimes, they said their friends told them that the tech space is so saturated. And I said, seriously, now that takes me to the issue of demystifying this great misconception around technology. There's no saturation about technology. Technology is just starting, especially the emerging technology, the space in which I am based. Now, what do we say about technology? What I tell people, if you did not learn anything, you have to learn how to leverage the existing improved technology while you are learning and acquiring the skills within the emerging technology to help you function well in this digital economy that we are going. Now, the world is getting more interconnected than ever. It's a global village now, whereby you can be in your hometown, in your village, and you are servicing the needs of another person in the US as a lawyer. Even as a law student, having some of the things that you can actually perform within your role as a law student to probably maybe serve as a paralegal or execute some things that are in line with the legal space that you are. Then I've heard people ask, are you trying to say we should leave law and come to technology? No. That brings me to the intersection. There is an intersection between law and technology. Now we are saying that there is a revolution and that technology has disrupted the businesses of every industry. Who will help them to put the regulations, compliance, and the registration and everything that they need to put the legal structures within their businesses? Who will help them do that? If you are saying technology is saturated, or are you into strictly litigation? You could be telling me that now, or be saying, all this one she's saying doesn't matter to me, I'm into litigation. Then this is the shocker. Litigation. Are there not going to be litigations in terms of technology? Have you not heard of the various litigations, the various suits in the tech world? Who are those that will handle? Do you think it's the traditional lawyer that will handle it? Now, let's come to the emerging technology. We're talking about blockchain. We're talking about artificial intelligence. Now, if you're going to handle any litigation around this space, you think you can handle it without the knowledge of AI, without the knowledge of blockchain and how the blockchain system works? These are emerging technology. They are nascent. They are just coming. They are evolving. And I implore that you evolve along with it. The purpose of this platform is to get you technologically aware, the business aware, and of course, already I cannot say be legally aware, because already that is what brought you into this relationship with me. You are into the legal space, either as an aspiring one, a budding lawyer, or already a lawyer, right? So now what are we talking about? In the process of my hustling around, I didn't tell you that there were times I was even going into the court with my children, not all the children. At the time I gave birth to my first child, I knew that there were several times I had to go to court. And then I'll give to someone to hold outside for me. and then I'll get into the course. Because of course, I don't even have the luxury of siblings. I don't have siblings. So I'm not someone that you now say, okay, she has a sister or she has a brother that will stay. The cousin I brought was so young and so small. That was what was available to me. So she was like a child I was taking care of. I'll just bring her to the course. She will stay outside and she will hold for me. These are the challenges that the male counterpart. Am I angry for them? No, but I'm saying that it would have helped me better if I had this idea, right? And so that others were not able to cross this hurdle. And it is important that you have this knowledge and know the importance why you need to leverage technology, because at the end of the day, it will help you to be able to perform seamlessly and have a well-integrated life in light of technology. Now you won't have to bother so much about work balance and the rest of it. I love to use the word work-life integration, because I have been able to fuse my personal life into my professional life by leveraging technology. So now I know that if I have a role to perform here, I don't have to jump and then probably put the interest of the family at stake or put it down. And then I'm looking for, because what do you call a balance? It means one is tilting to a side. And so now you are striking and looking for how you can put it on a way that the scale will really balance. Because before you're talking about balance, it's because there is one that is weighing on the other side and it's tilting towards one side. But when you have a work-life integration, you are able to understand what are my goals, what are my values. And of course, with technology, you are able to sit and have this discussion with yourself and understand. Now, this platform was not like before. On the traditional level, you will probably, a large number of you won't be able to attend if you're not in Lagos. And if you're in Lagos and you're on the mainland, you will not be able to come, or you will come, but it will take you a lot of stress to pass through the third mainland bridge, the hold up and the rest of it to get here. And then if you come at the end of the day, if God helps you, if you have children that are in school and you have to do school runs. So you will think of this whole thing, even when you are interested in this platform, you will not be able to come. You will now think of the fact that, okay, your husband has gone to his office, because while I was struggling, my husband was going to his office. He was going to his office. There was nothing that was stopping him. And like I told you, some of the firms where I went to, they told me that, Madam, even when I had given birth to my first child, I went back and I said I wanted. They said, no, now you have given birth. Yes, we know you have. I said, I'm ready to put in all. Because when I was hungry, I needed the money also. And not just the money, I needed to work. I wanted to actually practice this. So I wanted them to absorb me as a staff and not just do freelance and then you are owing me at the end of the month. I have to beg you to pay me the money I use for transport. But they told me another thing again. They said, by the time you finish, when it's 5 o'clock, now you start looking at the time because you want to go and pick your child. So I'm not telling you all these things from statistics. I'm telling you from personal experience, and which are the things that make up most of the statistics or the research that you see, that they are actually real. I was told that. And this particular lawyer told me, he said by 5 o'clock, I said I can close by 5, then I'll hurry home and take my child, because once the child clocked 6 months, I took her to the daycare because I usually do exclusive for my children, right? So he said, no, by 5 o'clock, that's when work will start, because it's close to that time that he will be coming to the office to give you assignments. And I said, no, I can't stay more than that. Then I went to another tier 1 law firm again, different from the first one I went when I came to Lagos. And this particular one told me to come all the way from mainland. I was living not just ordinary mainland, in the interior part of mainland called Ejigbo, very far from the island at that time. And they told me to come by 4 p.m. And I felt my word was strong. I said 4 p.m. I should leave Ejigbo by 4 p.m. I should come from Ejigbo and come for a meeting by 4 p.m. When will I go back? Guess what? I got there very early. 12 o'clock, yours truly was already within the vicinity. Because I didn't want it to be that, oh, they told you to come by 4. Now you said, hold up. I knew my husband was telling me, hold up in Lagos and on the island and the rest of it. Because obviously it was marriage that brought me to Lagos. I was there 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. When they came to attend to me by 7, my eyes were red already. They left me in one office. I think they were examining me through the CCTV. I have no idea. My eyes were rolling because of course, my child was in the daycare. I had this little cousin I was still monitoring to go and pee. I needed to go and cook. I needed to do several things. Yes, I had prepared the food for the day, but there were so many things I needed to put in place. And that timing, I was already thinking, oh, Shodi, that I heard that is very rough. What if they snatch my bag? Many things were going through my brain. You think I will get that job? In fact, they knew better. But I felt I was going to be able to cope. I told her, I said, I will cope. I will come very early. They said, Madam, your house is too far. You can't be coming to this. I said, I will come. Then I sat. I said, but my husband stays in the same place and comes to work. His place of work was not far from where I went for that interview. I said, how come I'm having this kind of issue? Then somebody might say, maybe there are some special witches that are following, but really the thing is that these are some of the hurdles, some of the challenges that you face as a woman. Yes, the story is not the same for everyone. Like I said, the thing is, it's not a one size fits all. But these are my personal stories. This is my own process to help you that is in a similar situation. And that for some of you, you have no idea, you feel that the rest of the people that are going through stuff or that went through stuff to get up there probably didn't plan well. Sometimes you have your plans, and then of course, life could just happen. Life could just happen. Yes, thank you. This is the story of 100 others. And for some, that story, actually, they didn't survive it. They got weighed down. They got swayed with it, and they never rose again. Now, but to cut the long story short, at the end of the day, we didn't give up. I kept pressing. I kept getting my clients. Then when I get the client and I get my client and I'm building to some level, I took him for my second child. And then I had to even cap it up with my master's. When I was doing my master's, on one of the occasions, I was to go and write my exams 2 weeks after I had my CS, my surgery for my second child. I went to Unilag, and of course, thank God to this particular lecturer. I went with my cousin, whom I said was a very, very young girl. So to hold a 2-week-old baby was not convenient for her. So at some point, I had to be shuttling almost like every other 10 minutes to go and check this baby because she was so fragile. But this male lecturer helped me to hold the baby, whom I'm grateful to. Now, these are some of the challenges you face as a woman. How many people will endure that? I have known of women who actually gave up even their quest to further their education with masters, with doctorate, because of the challenges of having to give birth and they can't cope with it. Some even have siblings. Like I said, I didn't even have an elderly person. I have no mom because she's dead and the rest of it. So there was no mugo coming from me from anywhere. So the highest I had from from the other spouse's mom was probably 2 weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks. And for someone that had CS. So these are things that you have no idea will actually, weigh on your scaling the ladder as a professional, so much so as a lawyer. Then if you understand some of these challenges, I think it will help you open your mind up why you should get to understand technology. Yes, the story is resilience. The ability to get way down and bounce back, irrespective of the whole challenges that come. You are able to hold true. Then fast forward, after giving birth to my last child, my third born, I sat down, I needed to have a breakthrough and know the way forward. And God brought me along this mentor. Now that brings me to the level of mentorship. The thing is that sometimes we have this big vision for ourselves. Like I said, be open-minded. Some persons have a definition, a dictionary definition of what they think mentorship should be. If it doesn't fall within it, they just mark you 0. They said, rubbish. But like I said, if you know better, you will do it. If I know better, I will do it. There are things I have no idea about. I'm ready to learn from you. There are things the other speakers will come, you have no idea about. They are ready to teach you, learn. The one you know, share. And I would want to bring that also up, the fact that women, we need to start pulling down some of the barriers we put up for ourselves. A woman typically does not want the other woman to have privy to the information that she has to help that person grow. So why won't there be challenges such as funding for tech startups for women, when the people at the helm of affairs mostly are male? Because they know how to collaborate, they know how to work with each other. So when we understand our peculiarity like this, and we have channels and platforms like this, why won't we see and sit to look at how can we help each other? In what way can we collaborate? You teamed up for your project, group projects, and a big thing can be birthed from there. From that project, researching and analyzing various topics that matters within the emerging technology. You heard Grace. She did her project. A lot of people during Grace's set did not do their personal project. But did you hear? It was published on an international journal. Do you know how many other opportunities will come? But because she was put on a platform that pushed her to do something, we're not doing it because we want to create hypes around it. That's why I'm giving you the story. Because if you forget every other thing, you will not forget my story. And from that story, there's no way you remember the story that you will not be able to pick up. Because if I come to tell you that the 60% of women face challenges as regards work-life balance, as regards funding for tech startups and the rest, you will just all these things that it might not really make sense to you. But bring my stories down and try to analyze it. Then you will understand the facts that when they talk of underrepresentation or lack of yes, underrepresentation in terms of leadership role for female lawyers, you will understand it from my story. When we talk about breaking the glass ceiling, you understand it from my story. When we talk about resilience, you will understand. When we talk about the fact that this has now been put up to create a platform that will help women to learn and get directed and help them to get the knowledge that you won't get everything, but to just put you on the right path to be able to do further on what you need to be able to thrive in this digital economy, so much so as your role as a woman. And so if you have no idea of your role as a woman, probably because you're an only child like me, or probably because you have not married yet, I have told you. So now for some of you, you really have the greatest of the greatest platforms. You have several siblings, you have several helps that are there for you and the rest of it. I am grateful. Also be grateful to your parents, be grateful to your spouses, be grateful for whoever made that platform possible for you. But you know one thing I also want to implore you, that while you are there in this great opportunity, also look for who you can empower. It could be just one word. It could be just sponsoring, and sponsoring not in the sense of going, I'm not saying, okay, go and clear your account and start. Sponsoring could be putting in a word for another partner, another team member, for another woman in the place where opportunity arises. You could have that opportunity and you say, oh, my team members whom we did the project together on Hilton Top Solicitors, her name is Grace, her name is this, we did this together. And maybe you are in a network where there's a great opportunity. You can carry, if we do that and carry ourselves along, do you think we'll be battling with lack of funding for women? Women that are innovative and creative. This is an innovation we are doing. Before, could we hold a platform of internship mentorship program where 280-something people will attend? Now we'll have to go and look for a bigger money to look for a big hall to rent. In this kind of economy, you go and look for a hall to rent at every edition that you have to do. Do you know what that will mean? So what are we saying? If we are talking about the importance of technology, remember this platform also. So from that 2020, God put it in my mind when I started understanding the importance of technology and leveraging the existing improved technology and getting to understand and learn, reskill and upskill and relearn about the emerging technology with a special focus on the blockchain technology. I saw that there was a need to also carry others along. And it was a divine orchestration by God. That the way confusion was the order of the day in my life, and I could not harness and put all these dots together to make any sense, that then there's a need to actually go in there and carry the younger ones along and help them understand what is likely to lie ahead if they don't get this understanding on time. I felt that once I come out with a law degree, I'm already a lawyer and I'm called to the bar, everything was going to be fine. That was what I thought. I didn't know that it's a multifaceted approach that is needed, that there was a need for my mind to be renewed. There was a need and a place for mentorship. There was a need and a place for me to see role models that are actually doing great things or that are ready, are not up there yet, but are willing to really, they know where they are going. For me to be well guided. That there was a need for me to even be told, oh, leverage this platform. And I recall at some point when my husband told me about LinkedIn, I had no idea about that, right? But I still didn't see the importance until I published an article back then. And a cousin told me, oh, go and publish it on LinkedIn. I was like, which one is LinkedIn? Which one is LinkedIn again? But guess what? If I had been on the LinkedIn, I wouldn't have to be hopping around the whole of Lagos and spending the money that was not available at that time. Jumping bikes and jumping buses and jumping everything jumpable. When on LinkedIn, I could just put my CV, put my resume and just get some opportunities. Did you hear Grace? She put the project that she did, that she was assigned to do on this platform. She put it on a digital platform and she was contacted to come and publish on an international platform. What else do you want to know about the importance of understanding technology and getting that? So you are telling me that if Grace has a child that she was taking care of at that time, publishing that paper was going to stop her from taking care of the child or breastfeeding the child or doing anything for the child? She will have a well life integrated form of approach for her life, because she will not have to jump. She will not have to book tickets. She will not have to disturb herself and take off everything from her account to like book, to travel and hold meetings concerning this publication, right? So these are some of the opportunities. And so if you don't even understand the opportunities, the fact that you understand your role as a woman, and the fact that your role even as a woman will be evolving by virtue of the digital economy also. So it's expected that you have this understanding, this knowledge to help you to be able to fuse your life with your professional life. And I'm sure that your values in terms of building your life, whether you're a family woman now or you are to be, because if you are not yet, you will definitely be, except for those that will want to, that are probably Catholics that will go into, what they call it, that will become sisters also. That's if we have those around here. But even at that, it doesn't mean that they don't have their challenges. Even as a single lady, that you don't have your challenges. All right, we have 10 more minutes. Thank you. So very well, ladies. So the essence of this whole thing is to help build the next generation female law legal talent, to help them understand the emerging technology, to help them understand the skills that they need to be able to thrive within this emerging technology, understand emerging technologies like blockchain, artificial intelligence, data privacy, cybersecurity, product management, data analysis. These are things that are not in the regular internship, but these are skills that are very, very necessary, I can tell you for free. And then things around your leadership role, so that you can be able to take the front lead. You won't always go to the background. This is coming from someone who has experienced that kind of life. So you don't see that others are supposed to just be in the front. Just let me be at the back. And I'm here to tell you today also that your competition is not a man. Because sometimes we feel that, oh, our competition is against the men. On this platform, we've had 99% of men helping us to build you and I, than I have the support of women coming to this platform. The male speakers don't really stress me like I would go through the stress mostly. It's not all the female speakers that come on my platform that stress me. So it's high time we start getting over such things. When you see another woman doing great and trying to build other women, let's put our hands together to be able to help build each other, right? And so the purpose also is to help build a community of women who are empowered, that will lead the charge in this digital economy. But it comes from power, and that power is knowledge. And the knowledge that you acquire, that you apply, is what we're talking about, that gives you power. I know that you must, some of you, if you count the testimonies or the certificates you have, they're probably up to like 20 or 30 certificates for virtual internship. But my dear, it's not just about that. Have you applied one thing from any of these platforms? Because if you as well as go ahead to apply one, you will make wave, you will lead the charge, you will become champions and pioneers of various tech solutions, legal tech solutions, of various things that will take care of the challenges that face not just women, but the whole society as a whole. So we're trying to build an ecosystem of women, legal minds, who will take the charge and also help to build and create and formulate policies that will help to be able to tackle the challenges within the digital space. But how can you help to create and formulate policies if you have no understanding about the technology? we're saying we don't have much space available for women at the table, then you create the table. We know the popular saying that, okay, take your chair there so that you can have a space. What if you bring your chair and there's no space for you to hang your chair? You can create your own table. And the one I like to refer to in conclusion is the fact that if the stage is not given to you, or if they don't give you a microphone, create your own stage and hold the microphone. They will come to hear you speak. And at the end of the day, they will even ask you to give them your own mic to speak on your stage. That means there's no excuse. Oh, that stage is full. They are not giving us mic to talk. They are not allowing us to talk. Go and create where you can give value. That's your own stage. Hold your microphone and start talking. But make sure you are talking and communicating values. Make sure you don't underestimate the power of collaboration. Make sure you don't also underestimate the collaboration power with men, because men are not your competition. They are more open to help women, but only women who are ready to dare and be very confident in themselves to move forward. If not, yes, others have the experience of the fact that they are pushed back. Do you know the stories of most of the interns that have said on my platform and said they have had to go through a lot of trouble to be part of some mentorship programs in some law firms because of the harassment they were getting from men? But it's high time you know that you have that value, that you can communicate, and that you do not need to hide beyond such kind of men who do not believe in any other value in you than to ask for your body to be a part of an internship or a mentorship program, or to be a part of a law firm. Now, in terms of the underrepresentation in leadership, it brought me to a question that I would like to ask you. In all those firms that I went, I didn't meet a woman that was leading, because I was waiting to meet a woman who is a leader in a law firm that would tell me that, no, Deborah, you know that by the time it's 5 o'clock, you'll be going and running to go and cook. You'll be running to go and take care of your child. And now we hear that there are women in such law firms. I used to hear them. So what is happening? Probably they are just there representing, right? But we are here to build, not to just represent. But it is very important that you participate in the decision making. You participate by virtue of the fact that you have knowledge that you are applying. And this is one of the space, the technology space, where you can actually make your feet and make your stand. Because if you are to compete in other aspects, you'll probably be lagging behind. But with the technology, I'm here to tell you that it's not saturated, that it's new, and every space, wherever you want to participate in the legal space, no matter the legal, the practice area that you want, technology is very important that you get to know. So courses and sessions around blockchain, artificial intelligence, I will be taking you tomorrow on blockchain. And then the next session will be Monday. We'll have some lawyers, some from the tech space, some women, and the men will be here to teach you. And I'm sure the final session will be on CV writing, because we've had that request for most of our law undergraduate, that after all this knowledge, they need to know how they can actually put these things together to be able to create a great and robust CV. Even as a student, yes. So that brings me to the end of it. If we were to continue the talk, we will end today. So tomorrow we meet again for the formal session. Today was to onboard you, to give you this orientation, to charge you up. And I hope, like the popular one will say when we're in the secondary school, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that you are special as a woman, you are phenomenal, you have special roles and duties, and that in this technologically immersed world, there are a lot you can harness, but you need to be open-minded, adaptable, flexible to be able to harness these opportunities. And remember to carry another woman along. And remember that the men are not your competition. They are always supportive. And when you discover the one that is not, that you should not throw yourself at them to make use of your body or use you for any other thing, because you are confident of the value that you have. And with this platform also, you build your confidence. Don't forget that I did say lack of confidence was one of the things that did not even make me to tell some person that I was a lawyer, and that this case they were talking about, I could actually come into it. So in the long run, nobody will eat you up. Just get confidence of the values that you have. And with knowledge comes the this is me imploring you that the knowledge that you get, you should try to put it into action. That's what is most important to me. I'm not just interested in you writing, but when you write, what you learn from me and from other industry experts, you should put them into action as a lawyer, as a law undergraduate, as a law graduate. Thank you so much. So like I said, the program has been for 4 years. We've been doing it for free. It's free for everyone. We don't have any standard to say, oh, you must be at this particular level before you come into it. And we've been giving certificates for free. But, you know, the whole thing also is taking a lot in terms of creating all that. So from last edition, we're no more giving the certificate for free. So from all these values that you're getting, what you should do is you can just do to help yourself is just to pay for the certificate if you are interested in the certificate, so that we can compile it early enough and give to you. But you're getting all this information from industry experts. We're not just bringing people because we want to make hype. People that are good in their areas of expertise, in the areas that we're bringing them. And I'm sure you will enjoy. Just open your mind, and then we start the first session tomorrow. Thank you so much. I've exceeded. Okay, we have 2 minutes to the end. So I'll just hand over to Deborah now. Thank you, lovely ladies. If we are to continue, we won't end today. But I'm sure that this has been able to make some impact on you. And you're expected, when we say share your lessons on LinkedIn, it's not just for us. It's not because we want to make the hype. It will help you. Some persons wonder, what do we share on LinkedIn? How do I make myself visible? The only people, there are lots of people with knowledge, and nobody is reaching out to them because they are not visible. Is the way you are showing yourself, putting yourself out there, that, oh, you are committed to platforms that are building, some platforms that are building you, or a platform that is helping to build you. And these are the things you are committed to building yourself along the line, that such opportunities will come and they will call on you. And, you know, before you know, the sky is just your beginning. So if Grace had said, no, I'm not going to publish this thing, they will feel this way. The opportunity that came for the publication internationally wouldn't have come, right? So please, you can go ahead and share your lessons for the onboarding session. Once again, ladies, thank you for joining us. You are welcome to the 8th edition of the Hilton Solicitors Female Virtual Internship. I still remain Deborah Enyone Oni, and it is my joy that you are with us. I look forward to the exciting times that we'll be having. You'll be given your personal assignments, which Grace has said already. They will retrieve that one subsequently, and the group one also commit to it. Thank you so much. Deborah, please, over to you. Thank you all, ladies. God bless you. Deborah or Grace?
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. Yes, Deborah, has she got disconnected for a while? Okay. That's why she's not able to unmute herself and speak. So we're very grateful, Ma, for everything that you have said. And please, everyone, please give Mrs. Deborah, please give our pioneer a round of applause as a thank you for all the inspirational words she has given to us. We are so grateful. I've been inspired again today, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity that you have created for all of us. And I hope that everyone here is ready to put in your best so that you can get all that you need to get from this program. And like our pioneer said, tomorrow we'll be starting with Introduction to Blockchain Technology. And remember my advice from before, some of you may have heard about blockchain technology. Some of you may have an experience already in blockchain technology, but some of you are very new to it. No matter what it is, where you are, it's good that you should refresh your mind about blockchain technology, so that tomorrow, everything that our pioneer will be saying will not be brand new to you, and you'll be able to follow along very easily. So just make a commitment, come confidently. Be confident. If there are things that you do not understand, nobody's going to laugh at you. This is a group of women. Right now we're at almost 300. Nobody knows you, so you can make mistakes. Nobody's going to laugh at you. And so come confidently, ask your questions, and just be sure that your questions will be answered as you come. And make sure you come on time as well. When the link is posted, please join on time. Thank you so much for everything. So we'll be rounding up now.
Okay, I think Deborah is connected now, so she could probably can hand over to her too. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for your time. So over to you.
Okay, ma. They've said it all literally, and I'm really sure we've had a very, very enlightening experience so far. As has been said, please let's open our minds and get ready to dedicate time to make the most of this opportunity. And that would be it for now. Thank you very much.
It appears there are some questions in the Q&A session. If you all have further questions, you can ask in the Q&A, but there are some questions. Can I read it
let's
out,
quickly run through. Yeah, let's quickly run through. Thank you.
Yes. Peter over Judith is asking, please, what time will the session be holding tomorrow? Are you there? Hello? Deborah, are you there?
I am here, ma.
Yes. Judith is asking what time the session will be holding tomorrow. By 12?
Yes, the same time. And if there'll be a change in the time, it will be duly communicated on the platform.
Okay. All right. Elizabeth is asking, please, how do we pay for the certificate? A link will be sent on how to pay for the certificate when it's time. The link will be sent to you. Deborah, you have anything else you want to ask?
No, I do not.
Yes. Normally a link will be sent, and once you click on the link, you'll be directed to a Google form. And the Google form will state your name, how you want your name to appear on the certificate, and you'll be given the account number to transfer it to. At least that's how it was in my time. So I don't know if it will change for this edition, but in my edition, that's how we paid for our certificate. That's all for Elizabeth. And then T. Walade said, how do you get inspired? How did you get inspired to start this? Can you share a bit more on work-life integration? Okay, I think this question is directed to Mrs. Deborah. And in the course of this program, you will actually get a lot of insight on how to be an entrepreneur of your own accord. And as for how do you get inspired, honestly, when you pick up opportunities like this and seeing what other people are doing, and your mind will start shifting. It starts from the mind. You start getting motivated to be more open-minded to opportunities. And when opportunities come, you will seize it. I don't know if Mrs. now, but because we're out of time, but Mark, can
you hear me? Grace, can you hear me?
Yes, Ma, I can hear you.
Okay, did you call on me to address that question?
Yes. Tiwalade, how did you get inspired to start this? Can you share a bit more on work-life integration?
Okay, very well. Thank you, Tiwalade. In most cases, you don't get inspiration to start things. And like I said, I was mentioning something on the fact that when I was looking for those jobs, I was hungry. So that hunger could be that passion, the passion for you to do a thing. In fact, my inspiration, if you call it inspiration, was my passion to be able to do something to impact. Now, while that was going on, we had an NGO that while I was not having a job to do, I was committed to serving the community. The little that I was getting from freelancing, myself and my husband will combine this, and we were serving those in the slum areas in terms of education, in terms of pro bono. Now, for me that had no job, so it starts with what you have passion for. What's your purpose? What do you believe you are really here to do? And so at that time, all I should have been bothered about was just get this little amount of money that I'm getting and just put it all out for myself. But myself and my husband, like I said, we're combining this money and even doing an NGO. We got no external funding from anywhere. We'll buy books, we'll go to the interior parts in slum areas to be able to help these people. And then there was the legal aspect of it, which I was handling also, doing pro bonos. I did more pro bonos in my life than I ever did
matters that had yielded me money at the time that I was even focusing on litigation. There were several criminal matters that I handled just for free in the midst of hunger, because it was something I was committed and passionate about. So with that passion, when I saw the direction and the divine ordination and orchestration for me to impact on a larger scale, it wasn't hard for me. It wasn't hard for me. Like, it's something I'm passionate about, to always impact, help others and things like that. But I know that I also have to be empowered. But at that time, even in the midst of my own disempowered nature, the little that was there, I had no issue parting with it to be able to, take care of people. And that was what inspired this platform. There was nothing like, oh, she started the platform because she got one sponsorship. The truth is that the platform even started with my savings, the children, the husband, and everything. We got Zoom to be able to accommodate. The first Zoom we started for this platform was to accommodate 100 persons. More than 100 enrolled. And we were thinking, oh, we'll be able to, upgrade and the rest of it. So the thing is that there was no external inspiration. The inspiration was from inward. Like, it starts from the mind. It starts from knowing your purpose and knowing that really this thing you are going through is a process, and that's not your level and your status. And so you can now surmount every challenge. So my inspiration was the fact that I was well aware of what I was born to do, to make that greater impact in life, right? How I was going to do it, I never knew. But of course, with things around me, I already found where my passion lies. So if you needed people to just help and get something done to help the downtrodden, the less privileged and the things like that, I will jump into it without thinking of myself. I will represent people in cases where they are detained and being trodden upon from morning till like midnight in high stations, in high filling, filling station, police stations, until midnight. I was in a particular station at zone 2 at some point. That was when I recalled that since morning I had not eaten, because I was helping an elderly woman who was a widow under the platform of that foundation. So now seeing and getting that divine ordination, that why not, now that you understand technology? Because what happened was that my mentor, who told me, when I told him that I was getting like, I was ready to now rebuild my practice because I've given birth to my last baby and now I want to build further. And he said, where do you want to focus? I said, I don't know. I love to do criminal law. I love to do everything. You know, we're jack of all trades. Once you come out, that's what the system actually puts us through and all that. So I wasn't sure, but I knew that I had passion for criminal law practice and all that. And he told me one thing. He asked me a question: what does your husband do? And I said, okay, he's an accountant. He was working as an auditor, and then he just resigned and was into the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. And this mentor, who is a lawyer, way lot my senior, over like 30 years my senior, at the point, he told me, he said, why not look into the blockchain space where your husband is? And that was, in fact, since that was the only thing I remember him telling me. But I can't call my mentors without calling that man's name, because that one word, that sentence gave me that direction. And so when he gave me that and I started researching and reading, I didn't get materials from him, but I appreciated the thing he said that day. And what else do I need from a mentor? To give me direction. And he has mentioned something. And that was when it dawned on me, there's something about this. In the house, I felt it was because of his accounting background that he was into the cryptocurrency space. I didn't know that the blockchain technology, which was powering the cryptocurrency, was something that me as a lawyer should understand. I didn't ask him any question. I went back and got on my own research. And in the midst of soaking myself with that, I got that revelation, that direction in the midnight from God to help the ones that are less privileged. So these are the process that I went through to now have, and then, like I said, merging it with the passion that I already have. It aligned so well. So imagine if I was a very greedy person, I was not interested in helping anyone before. When it came at that point, I would just tell God, you mean me that I'm still looking for how to build my life? You want me to go and be telling others that this is the way to go about it? So I believe that there's no need as women to wait until you have eaten well, you have gotten to the top of the ladder. That's when you now look down at the ground floor and say, who is there? Then you try to stretch your hand. That while you are even climbing and you are getting that direction, you hold others and let us go. As you are picking the one step, you are carrying them along. So the inspiration is actually that passion, that commitment to make the impact. And then, of course, the honor and the fear for God to know that this the nation and this thing that is being stirred up in my spirit was actually a direction from God that really aligns with my value and the passion that I see that God has put in my life as my purpose. So that's it. So for the work-life integration, it's a system whereby you probably, you are able to fuse your activities of your family life with your professional life. So where you are probably dealing with work-life balance, where already you have the notion of the fact that because you have to run for work, you have to do commit to your professional development and to scaling the professional ground, you have to forfeit other things in the family home and all that. That is for the work-life balance that people battle about, because when you're talking about, oh, I'm trying to look for a work-life balance, that means, like I said, something is already shaking. One is already weighing and tilting higher and bending the other downward. That's when you're talking about striking a balance between something, right? But once you have a well-life integrated system, you are able to understand. Now I have this meeting. My kids are in school, and then you are able to organize and see how you can actually, integrate your family life and your family duties and roles. You have to understand your family duties, your role. So for you that is a student that you're not yet married and you're with your parents, of course, you can also carry out some of the duties and the roles that you have to carry out as a woman. Probably you're the one cooking for Popsy and Momsy and all that. And if you were to do a physical internship, you probably have gone since morning. The time you will spend on the road, to and fro, will even be much more than the time you spend for this internship. By the time you will come, maybe your mom is already elderly. You will now stress her to go and cook. And you come back, you eat that food, and Momsy will be so stressed and the rest of it. But with this internship that you are doing, I'm sure if you're at home now, if you're on break, and you needed to do something for Momsy, you are able to integrate it into it because you're at home. You are learning, you are jotting all this because it's delivered virtually. You are going to the kitchen to check the food. You are able to set table for dad and mom. You are able to help your sibling with the assignments, or probably because you need your concentration, you just tell them, immediately after this, I'll do. But if you were going physically, if you tell your sister or your brother that immediately after this, I'll help you with your assignments, the time it will take you to take the physical transport down home, you'll be so exhausted that the brother or the sister must not come near you to talk about that. So when you understand your role as a woman, whether as a single or as a married person, then you understand what is actually your values. Because for some, family does not really mean to them. But for every one of you on this platform, I want it to be that the family means something to you. Because the problem and the beauty of the society, it all starts from the home. If you have problems in the society, it started from the home. If there's greatness and beauty in the society, it started from home. So we must be able to fuse our life, our family life, and our professional life in a way that we're able to have time to carry out our roles and build the virtues that we need to, and instill the values that we need in our children, our siblings, and then be able to build a community that will have those with high values and will take care of some of the vices that are happening in the society, will be taken care of. So I hope that answers it. We've gone quite over some minutes after 1:30. So I hope that answers your question, Tiwalade. And then any other question probably could be sent to me, or probably I can address it tomorrow if we are able to finish early. Oh, it does. All right. Thank you, Tiwalade. All right, over to you, Grace. I think we're done.
Yes, Ma, we're done. And for the person who asked what was the name of the tech academy I mentioned, is the Hilton Top Emerging Tech Academy. And that's all the question I can see. The others have been answered. She mentioned that was the tech academy you mentioned the name of the academy you mentioned in your intro.
Okay, the Hilton Top Emerging Tech Academy. Okay, that's fine. All right.
Yeah. And someone also asked, can I combine IP law and tech law? I think you can.
Very well.
I know of IP law and tech lawyer. That's the name. Intellectual property and technology lawyers. So definitely you can combine.
Very well. So like I said, the intersection of this technology and law, that's what you're here to learn, right? We'll even have a session on intellectual property to be taken by a very prominent person in the legal space who is solely into intellectual property, Mr. Akim Akomade. So we'll have him on the date, I think on the 26th and all that. Yes. These are where the opportunities lie, because the technology, the various solutions, the various startups and innovations that are coming around, there will be a lot of demand for lawyers who are also vast in helping to protect and secure the intellectual property of these digital solutions that are also coming up. And before the digital solution in the traditional space, of course, we know that intellectual property is something that is a great aspect of practice, right? So the technology is not an exemption. It's not an exception, rather. So the various evolutions or solutions that are coming up need to actually be protected. So the issue of intellectual property is a big deal in the tech space, in the digital space. There will be a lot of requests and a lot of need for lawyers with such expertise. So in terms of data privacy, so the things that will be coming up by virtue of the fact that digitization is the order of the day, and our daily lives, our businesses will be transferred or are being deployed to the digital space, there will be a need to secure the digital space, which brings about the fact that you need to know about the cybersecurity. There will be a need for the protection of your data, and then for the privacy, which is the need why we'll be having sessions on data privacy. There will be a need for intellectual property protection, right? So that's why we'll have sessions on that. So these things are carefully selected on this platform, not to make a name or to make hypes, but things that are really relevant to you to help you direct. Because we've had these kind of questions from previous participants in the various cohorts and from other private mentees. And so by the time you go through it here, you will be able to know that, oh, this is the way I can go. So for those even into litigation, you need to know technology, right? So these are the various things, even product management. There are various legal tech solutions that are coming up. And apart from, even if it's not in relation, the solution is not in relation to legal, even if it's the any other tech solution in the health space or wherever it is, you're going to be dealing with issues of intellectual property for that solution that has been built. You're going to talk about the fact that the issue of data privacy and data protection. You're going to talk about cybersecurity for every of these legal solutions or any tech solutions that will be coming up. So it is something you can combine. You can say you are into, you are combining intellectual property with tech, or you are combining law with cybersecurity, you are combining law with data privacy. And so it's all about the intersection of law and these emerging areas that we're talking about in technology. Yes, thank you so much.
So it's apparently we've come to the end of today's session. I had a great time and I'm very sure we all did. So we will be ending now. Be sure to share your nuggets on the platform.
And on the various social media platforms. Tag me, tag the firm also. If you're not following us yet, kindly do that. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. See you tomorrow by 12 p.m. Yeah, 12 noon. All right, thank you. Share your lessons. I'll be glad to connect with you on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. Follow the firm and then follow me. Thank you all. See you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you for your time. All right. Thank you, Deborah. And thank you, Grace. Yes. God bless you all.